Okay, first things first, if you do not watch the latest season finale of Attack on Titans, leave the video, there will be spoilers. Okay, so the scene starts off with Levi, Connie, Peck, Rainer, Armin, Mikasa, and Jean on the plane, and they looking nervous. And I ain't gonna lie, they should be looking nervous, because if I was on the plane with them, who finna stop Eren from doing this rumbling? It can't be me. He been on real villain energy, real Frieza vibes from my boy. Like, I haven't seen this man smile since like season 1. So I get it. I would want no smoke with Eren right now. No smoke whatsoever. So as they getting closer to Eren, Levi see the Beast Titan. Oh man. You know his mouth was watering. He got off that plane fast as hell. Cause Zeke is his arch nemesis. So he seen him. Oh man, he saw a pot of gold. He got off that plane fast as hell. So after Levi slid, everybody else slid. So everybody falling out the plane, using the ODM, get ready to get on the Eren. And they peep like the 9 generational Titans is all his. So now everybody like, whoa, what's going on? Because the past generational Titans, they gray and it's kind of off looking, and it seemed like they damn near got a power boost. Like they stronger than they were before. But I mean, they there now, so they can't turn back now. So everybody fighting. It's a fight scene, and I must say the animations for the fight scene is crazy good, like wickedly good. The transitions was crisp, and it was just super exciting. Like they 10 out of 10 flawless on the fight scenes. But as they fight, and the goal right now is to get to Eren's nape and get Eren out of there. But the problem is that his bones are so like tough and strong, it's hard to even penetrate. So this where Peck come in. Look, I wasn't expecting it, but Peck was putting in some real work out there. So she was able to get explosives all the way around his nape. And she ended up getting caught up by one of the 9 generational Titans. And my boy Armin definitely got caught too, man, by some type of pig Titan. So at this point, everything pretty much going downhill. Armin, he in like in a whole nother dimension right now. And Levi, he hurt his foot trying to help a creative player like Connie out. So everything going downhill pretty much at this point. Right now, it's looking like everybody about to die. But I know it's too early for that, so I'm expecting the unsung hero to emerge. So I'm like, who is that going to be? And it's none other than my boy Falco. I always been a Falco fan. He came through. He learned how to fly with his Titan. And he had Annie with him, and he had Gabi with him. So they came to save the day. So we transitioned back to Armin, and he having a crazy, weird, out-of-body experience. Like, he's looking at himself, lay there motionless, like no life in him, and he's just having a meltdown at this point. He's screaming, crying, talking about he always letting everybody down. He let himself down. And you know, he's smart, so after a while he figured out he's not dead, and it turns out he's actually in the past. And the only way you can go to the past is if you're a descendant of Ymir, or you're a Titan, or a past Titan. That's the only way you can get in there. So while he in the past, he walking around confused, and he stumbled upon Zeke. And let me tell you, Zeke looked like he on suicide watch right now. The man looked like he just gave up on everything. But obviously they end up talking, and Zeke is pretty much explaining to Armin why everything played out the way it did. And it really boiled down to that Ymir subjected her power to Eren opposed to him. He said he couldn't figure out what it was, but it was something she was looking for and searching for, and Eren had the answers. And as they continue talking, they turn around and they see the past Titans are in the paths with them. So Berthold was there, Eren and Zeke's father was there too, and Armin and Zeke was just begging him, like, please help, like please help us make this right and stop the rumbling. So we back on the battlefield with Levi and company, and man, they getting smoked. But whatever Armin and Zeke did in the past, whatever they asked for, they prayers got answered. Cause this was a better comeback than the Cavaliers when they was down 3-1 to Golden State. Like, I'm talking about, they made some magic happen. Like the past generation Titans that was initially fighting Levi and company, now switched it up and helping them fight, going against the other Titans that's going against them. So I don't know what type of pull that Armin and Zeke had up there, but it definitely worked. At this point, the fight pretty much in their favor. All they have to do now is retrieve Armin back from the pig Titan. And at this point, Levi and Gabi are together, and Gabi say, yo, I'm gonna grab this gun and do something with it. And Levi like, nah, we really don't need that. It's not gonna do too much. I'm sorry, I don't even disagree with Levi, but that was crazy. That was a crazy take from Levi. Cause when Gabby get the gun, it get real critical. Do your homework on what Gabby do with the gun. Let's go back. Gabby took out Sasha, main character, when she was first on the scene. Then when Eren and Zeke were trying to unite to get their powers, she blew off Eren's head. When I seen that, no, it's confirmed. When she get the gun, it's getting critical. And that's exactly how it got. It got critical. Shot the pig titan, and they recover Armin after that. So this next scene is probably the craziest scene throughout the whole finale for me. For whatever reason, Zeke thought it was a good idea to come back in the real world. Shout out to Levi and ask him how he's been. Like, I know you've been looking for me. What's going on, Levi? So I don't know what type of drugs this man got into when he was in the paths, but the drugs sent him all the way off. Bruh, when I tell you Zeke's head left his body faster than the room go dark when you turn the light switch down, I mean it. Like, I kind of feel bad for Zeke because he did turn into a good guy, but at the same token though, I'm happier for Levi because it's about time Zeke finally understand they not on the same level, and he was doing this one for Captain Irwin, so I had to see it. As the fight presses on, Rainer gets Jean close to Eren's nape. Jean somehow blows up Eren's nape, and then Armin turns to the Colossal Titan to blow up everything. So after that happens, it's pretty much smoke everywhere, Eren's disassembled, and the rumbling just stops, so everybody thinks it's pretty much over with. So with this scene, we pretty much see that Rainer reunites with his mom, Gabi reunites with her family, Falco reunites with his family, Annie reunites with her dad, and everyone's rejoicing, but you could tell it's something off and something's probably about to happen. And this man Eren rises up like the Undertaker. Now he's back in his Attack Titan form, and it's some weird worm-like thing. I think that came from Ymir's running around trying to get back to Eren, so the fight is back on again. So everybody trying to figure out what's this smoke coming from this worm. So Connie realized, like, man, I wonder, is this the same smoke that happened in my village? So Levi gets startled, like, yo, Falco, Mikasa, we gotta go. And then he's saying this because he's scared that everyone will transform into Titans, and the only people that can't be affected by this are Titan wielders and Ackermans. So that's why he told Falco and Mikasa, we gotta get up out of here because they all might turn to Titans, which indeed they end up turning into Titans. Then it jumps off into a scene where Eren has Mikasa in the woods in another dimension. And Eren pretty much telling her, like, man, I wish we could live out our remaining years together like we talked about previously, but you need to forget about me and move on and just promise me when I die you'll bury my scarf. That's pretty much how he broke it down to Mikasa. So after Eren reaches out to Mikasa, he grabs Armin and reaches out to him, and they're in another dimension. It starts off back at their hometown, and he's pretty much apologizing to Armin about everything that's been going on. And they're just talking, and he's telling him about the founder, Ymir, and what's really going on. But while he's doing this, he's taking Armin to every place that they ever talked about seeing, like in the very beginning of the chapter about the outside walls. So they're seeing the water. He's taking them to see lava, just everything outside the walls while they talk about Ymir. And as Eren and Armin are talking about Ymir, Eren didn't say it, but he pretty much saying, like, yo, this is King Fritz's fault. And he not lying, because King Fritz actually killed Ymir's whole family, tore out her tongue, and just destroyed her hometown. Like, King Fritz is I guess you could say he the ultimate city boy, because she stayed loyal to the man for 2,000 years. And even though he treated her so horrible, she took an arrow for the man that died. And after she died, King Fritz had their kids eat Ymir just so they could hold on to her power. Like, dude was twisted. He was nutty. Like, I know girls like bad boys, but damn, she taking it a little too out of proportion on this. But anyways, Armin is asking Eren, like, yo, why did she stay loyal to him? And Eren pretty much said, like, yo, she loves him. Like, she's in love with him. And that's why she's been loyal this whole time. And even after 2,000 years of the torment and stuff, she still loves him. Then Eren goes on to say how Ymir was just searching for something. He couldn't quite figure it out what it was, but he could tell she was searching and reaching out for something. And then he touched her in the paths, and he figured out what she was looking for was a person, and the person was Mikasa. So Armin asks Eren, why does she want Mikasa? Like, what's so special about Mikasa? And Eren doesn't even know. He like, that's only a question that you can ask Ymir. She's the only one that knows the answer to that. So they keep on talking, and Eren, he's just getting, you could tell he's getting like more and more down, more depressed. He's like, man, sorry for putting you guys in battle. I didn't want for this to happen. I didn't even know if you guys were going to be able to make it out or whatnot. And then Eren goes on to tell Armin and confess to him that his head is totally messed up. Like, he doesn't know what to do. And he said one of the founding Titan's ability is he doesn't have a conscious of past or future. Everything just happens simultaneously. And a good thing they did real good with this scene was you could see all the emotion, resentment, and guilt that's all on Eren's face, and he's showing remorse. And that's something we really didn't get the previous episode that came out. And Eren is just telling Armin, like, man, I just have no choice. He said even the day his mom died, it was him that sent that Titan to kill his mother in order to save Berthel because he had to stay alive. So now the next scene, Armin and Eren are on the beach, and it seems like they're by the ocean. So Armin pretty much pops the question. He's like, yo, Eren, how you feel about Mikasa? Like, do you think if she moved on to another dude, or you think she could move on to another dude? Like, how you feel about that? You think she could? So Eren responds, I don't know. So I don't know what happened, but Armin had a rage moment. Like, he really had a rage moment and punched Eren. And I ain't gonna lie, to me that was kind of bold. And I gotta give Armin some respect, because, hey, that's some character development, because he really kind of started off like a wimp. But to me, that was still kind of bold for him to punch Eren, because the last time they got into physical altercation, my boy Eren was looking like prime Conor McGregor out there, beat the brakes off Armin. But I guess Armin punched some emotion into this man, because that boy Eren gets overly crying. I'm like, what's going on? He like, oh man, I want Mikasa so bad. Like, that's all I ever wanted. I don't want her to move on to another guy. Like, even when I die, she needs to mourn me for 10 years before she move on. And I'm just shocked at this point, because the whole series he act like he don't care nothing for her. I thought he was really into what's her name, Historia. I thought that's who he really wanted. Yeah, I thought Historia was for him. I'm thinking my boy going for the blondes. Him and Historia, that look like a nice little John for them to have. But hey, I guess it's Mikasa. And then it goes on to turn into a more serious note again. So now he breaks down saying he doesn't want to die, he wants to live. Now Armin trying to figure out how to help him live, but Eren tells him like, yo, it's nothing you could do. Like, you gotta understand, I just killed 80% of humanity. Only 20% of humanity got saved because of you guys. Now Armin acting surprised, he going hysterical, like, why'd you do this? Why'd this happen? And Eren's telling him like, yo, it had to happen no matter which way it went. This is how it's gonna go. He said even if you rid the world of Titans, war is still gonna go on. Eren said he just pretty much wants to make the fighting and the war, make it equal, so it's not one army is overly overpowering another army. And Eren says it's pretty much his fault. Like, he just wish it never happened. Like, he just was stupid and he's an idiot, and that's pretty much how this all ended up happening anyway. And then Armin, surprisingly, he steps in and takes blame, because he said, I'm the one that introduced you to that book when we were kids about the outside walls, and had I never did that, this never would have happened, because I'm the one that sparked the idea in your head in the first place. And this one it get really weird, because Armin said, I'm gonna be in hell with you. And so they both start like laughing and smiling, saying like, yeah, we're gonna go to hell together. We're going to hell together for sure. We're gonna go to hell for all the people we killed. So I'm like, Shraggy, like, oh, what's going on? Like, what you mean? Y'all can't wait to go to hell. Like, I don't know. It was just kind of, that was a little weird scene for me. And as Armin and Eren are talking, the fight is still going on in the regular world. And Mikasa actually figured out that Eren is inside the Attack Titan's mouth. So she has everyone help her get to the mouth of the Attack Titan to get Eren. So she ends up using a Thunder Spear, breaks his teeth and mouth to get in, and cuts Eren's head off. And when she does that, you see for a flash that Ymir is right behind her and Eren. And it's weird, she actually kisses Eren's cut off head. So when Armin comes back to the real world and he finds out that Eren's dead, he just started crying hysterically, like he couldn't understand why he had to die. And Mikasa came and comforted him and was like, yeah, Eren came to see you too, I suppose, with his memories, to talk to us one last time. And this next scene is probably my favorite scene out the entire finale. it pans on Captain Levi sitting on the rock, and he's looking in the distance, and when he looks up in front of him, he sees Captain Eren, Hanji, and all the other scouts that died fighting for their cause. So they was there watching them the whole time, and they salute him one last time. And this is easily my favorite scene because Levi is pretty much emotionless, but that scene, that's the first time I ever seen Levi shed tears because he was fighting so hard, and he was carrying so much weight, and for him to know that everything he didn't go to vain, that was easily my favorite scene. Then it shows Mikasa walking off with Eren's head in her hands, and Armin is like, what are you doing with that? And Mikasa told him pretty much like Eren's probably going to be labeled like a menace, #1 enemy, so he wouldn't get a proper burial, so she's going to take it so he get a proper burial. So as she's walking away, she actually sees Ymir. When Mikasa sees Ymir, she says, that was you, wasn't it? You were the one always peeking in my head. And so for those of you that might be lost, if you reflect back throughout the whole series, Mikasa always had bad headaches and she couldn't really pinpoint where it was coming from. But it was actually Ymir reaching out to her. And she tells Ymir, the love that you had was pretty much a nightmare. I felt like it was a nightmare this whole time. And she tells her like, rest in peace. And you could tell that with Eren dead and everything happened the way it happened, Ymir finally had rest and she got what she sought after. So now the series goes into a time skip and shows us 3 years post Eren's death. And just as Eren predicted, the Jaegerists are preparing the army to go against the Marleyans because they think they'll seek revenge after what happened. And at this point, Titans no longer exist, but like Eren said previously to when he was talking to Armin, regardless, war is still going to continue. And that's actually what unfolded as he predicted. And then it goes on to show Mikasa, Levi, Jean, Connie, Falco, Gabby, like trying to like pretty much initiate peace and prevent war from happening the best that they can. Then towards like the final scene, it shows Mikasa sitting outside Eren's grave and she was talking to him. Like, I mean, she was talking to herself, but talking to Eren, but talking to herself. And a dove comes out of nowhere and pulls on the scarf, and it signifies that was Eren. And then the scene just later fades out and shows Levi and Jean and Connie and Rainer going to Eren's grave to get their, regards. And that's pretty much how the scene ends. In conclusion, the finale, I mean, it was a huge success, a huge hit. Like, I don't even really too much gravitate towards sub, but even watching sub, it was perfect from the soundtrack, song selection, transition, animations, like everything was stellar. The plot twist, and this was pretty much a good end to a great series. And big thanks to everybody that tuned in, took time out their day to go to my video and hit my wild, crazy takes and commentary on Attack on Titan season finale. If you watched the finale too, please get in the comments, man, and let me know like what you liked about the Attack on Titans. It could be just overall throughout the series, or just the finale, or it could even be who was your favorite character. But go ahead, get in the comments, and let me see what you guys think too, man.